Okay, I just went through a big long thing and found out that the video cut off. So I gotta go do this all again. Anyway, so what we have today is soul fragments, and how to restore the balance. The intention. You know, if you have a fragmented soul, then a lot of times what people will do is try to wear a mask. Not admitting to themselves or not admitting to others really what's going on in their lives. Now, you can't be in denial of things. That doesn't work. And, you know, a mask is only going to fool things for so long. You know you've got a mask on. You know that you're perpetrating a con, basically. You're conning yourself. A lot of times people con themselves as well as conning others for quite some time. But if you want to, come back to balance, you have to be willing to take off the mask and actually look at the fragmented places in your life and get a hold on them, get a handle on them. Okay, you have to confront them. You have to see them for what they are and what they're not. Don't make them more than what they are. Okay? Don't let them rule your life and run your life in a negative manner. Okay? So many times, when you have these things, like maybe when you're growing up, you're told you're going to be a failure or whatever it is, whatever trauma they want to stick on you. Okay, sometimes people will try to prove them wrong, or they just say, well, that's all I'll be, and they buy into it. They buy into somebody else's drama. Okay, so you don't buy into somebody else's mistaken notions. Okay. You have to, again, take off the mask, be willing to look at things. And if you are willing to look at things, then what comes up from the internal is power, okay? And once that power starts arising, you start taking back your life. You start taking back who and what you are and letting go of what you are not, okay? Then these fragmented pieces can start to go back to balance, okay? So many people, the COVID thing is a very difficult time because they are running away from themselves, okay? They always need to have something to divert their attention. They're always looking for something else to entertain them. Okay? So you've got to be willing, again, to take off the mask and really look at things, question it deeply, so that you can move forward rather than buying into the rhetoric that's been perpetrated. You don't have to buy into any of that rhetoric. Sometimes all that rhetoric and things come out of somebody else's angst or whatever that they want to try to put on you, and it comes out of their own failings, and there's no reason that you should take that on, okay? Maybe you're told when you're young you're ugly, or you're told you'll never amount to anything, or you're told, whatever toxic thing that's been put there and they try to label you with. it's time to look at that and see, it's not true. That's their failing, and you don't need to take on somebody else's failings. Okay? So be willing to take off the mask and be who and what you are. You don't need to be like, the tangerine wannabe dictator that's so failed and so unhappy with himself and so low self-esteem that he has to always overcompensate that he's the best, he's the most fabulous, nobody's ever done better than him. Is he trying to convince himself? Okay? But he never really convinces himself because he's always got to have somebody around there to tell him he's fabulous. Okay? Always has to have somebody around him telling him he's fabulous. Okay? So be willing to take off the mask. Spend some time with yourself. Become your own best friend. This is a good time to do it while we're a little more isolated and we, spend time with yourself to entertain yourself. Okay? But nothing happens as long as you want to hide behind a mask. Okay? Be willing to come out and let people see who you are. Share who you are. Share what you have, your talents, whatever you have. Be willing to bring that forward. Doesn't mean you have to be the best. I'm not the best musician. I'm not the best reader. I'm not the best artist. But I share what I have. I'm willing to unveil it, reveal it, put it out there. Okay? So again, find out when you unmask all these dramas and you let go of all these trauma fallacies, you find out you can be a very content person. Okay? You're not fighting with yourself any longer. You're not trying to mask, cover over, trying to project you're something that you're not. Okay? And life just gets better. You take things as they come. Okay? You don't need to over project, which is what Trump does all the time. I'm the best, I'm the greatest, nobody's ever done like I am. I've done more for the blacks, I've done more for everybody. I have done such a great job with the pandemic. Biggest death rate in the world. And he's done a great job. Okay? He's not been honest with himself. He's not been honest with anybody. He's got a mask. He's a miserable person. Miserable. Okay? So you can either choose to be miserable and try to convince yourself of something when really internally you're like a hamster running on a wheel just going nowhere, trying to convince yourself of something, rather than looking and seeing really what's there versus what's not there. Okay? Time to let go of the toxic things that you've drug along with you along the way, that you've gathered and collected. Okay? Because they don't serve anything. Okay? So I'm going to leave this here. I hope this has helped somebody in their journey to discover who they are and who they're not. Sometimes, you know, the biggest part of discovery is finding out what you're not. Okay? What you're not. You're not these toxic dramas that have been placed. Whether they were placed there knowingly or unknowingly, you have to look it square in the face and see that you are not that, and then you can let go of that. And whoever's judgment that drama was, they can have it. But you don't have to take it on, okay? You don't have to hold on to those things and either try to project something other than that with a mask, okay? Because if you're wearing a mask, then you actually do believe it at some level, okay? You don't need to wear a mask if you're contented with yourself, okay? You only wear a mask when you're trying to hide something, when there's something that you are ashamed of, or you are, you know, low self-esteem about, you know, whatever you are, you're a unique being, okay? You're a part of the projection of the divine is. So find that within yourself, that divine is, okay? And gravitate to that, hold to that, and let go of the rest of the toxic stew and mess. You don't need it, okay? You're better than that. So I'm going to leave this here. Much love and light to everyone. Thank you for spending some time with me this morning. I so appreciate it. And if you enjoy this channel, subscribe, click a thumbs up. I so appreciate that. And everyone have a wonderful day. Please be safe. Continue to mask up out there. Don't forget, COVID is coming in another cycle due to the fact that the cooler weather's coming. There will be more indoor activities, and so unfortunately, that's a recipe for spreading things again. So please be safe out there, as safe as possible in this situation, okay? So love and light to everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for spending time with all of our different readers. We all are so happy to share what we have with you to whatever degree that we can, you know. And so thank you for tuning in and spending the time.